just wonder if you could just kind of go over, what you thought of the group of guys that the team drafted today. Obviously, you didn't have a first-round pick. You had a bunch of picks like we talked about late. You traded up in the fourth round. What did you think overall about what you guys were able to do today as a group here to improve the Lightning?
I thought it was really good as far as you have to sit and wait until pick 56. And you really have to hold your breath because the team in front of you that's picking makes a trade, so it makes it even longer of a wait. But we were really happy with getting Ethan Zada at that place in the draft at 56. Then we had the trade up for with Boston because our Euro scouts really like Rountinen, so that worked out well. It's tough to get everyone on the same page and everyone agrees and really likes a player, so that's what made it easier for this whole draft is all the guys that we got them in the spot that we really wanted to get them, and almost everyone agreed in the room about taking that player in that spot. So we got, I think, 4 forwards, 2D, and a goalie. And the goalie that we got late, Heil, Jared Wayman, our goalie scout, helps out with USA Hockey, and Heil has been at camp, so it's even better when you can get one of your scouts on the ice with the player and know him that well.
Deandra, do you have a question?
I wanted to ask you about your second round pick. Ethan talked a lot about kind of like the grittiness of his game, and I was listening to the broadcast when he got drafted, and they compared him to a Brandon Hagel type player. And I just wanted to kind of get an idea of like what you guys were looking for, when you chose a player like that, and how you see he could fit into the organization.
Ethan can really skate. He's a 6'1.5" centerman, still has to put on weight like every 17, 18-year-old kid needs to do. He does play really hard. His compete really stands out. He doesn't back down from the physical play. So some of the comparisons to guys on the Lightning, I didn't see them when they were that age. So that's a big leap to take. But Ethan's compete and his skating really stood out for us. On a team that was fairly young in Niagara in the Ontario Hockey League, and he should be returning a lot of his teammates next year, and they should have a good team, and expect big things out of Ethan too.
Gabby?
John, I had the pleasure of talking with you on Tuesday, and you said something that I thought was pretty funny, that you were telling your group 7th round about 4 picks, and you were going to lock in for 20 minutes. Mm-hmm. First and foremost, how do you think you guys executed, and then what can be the benefits of trying to find kind of the diamond in the rough, if you will, in that 7th round?
I think when you get to the 7th round, it's really you really rely on your area guys because they know the players really well. Our goalie scout had done all the work and been on the ice with Caleb Heil before, so that's a real advantage for us. And then you go around the room, and after you've done meetings over and over across the season, you really know who each scout really likes. I really want this guy, and I think he'll be there in this round. I really like this guy, I think he'll be there in that round. So we got to those 4 picks in the 7th round, and it was really easy. It was, okay, we're going 1, 2, 3, 4. We think we have to take him right away because he may go, and it's right down the list of who you want. So it happens really fast, so you need to be prepared. So we had contingency plans as far as, okay, if this guy gets taken, we gotta know who goes up on the list here. So our guys did really well. We got players that we really like, and they're all a little bit different, not only positionally but style of play.
Ed and Cena, go ahead.
John, just want to ask you a little bit more about I'm gonna mess up the name. Rountinen,
yep.
Your 4th rounder. Obviously you really liked him because you traded up to get him there. And obviously an international guy there too. He had mentioned about the World Juniors that he had, and he said that might have been one of the reasons I got drafted today. I mean, how much does that go into? Obviously, you guys look at these guys a lot, right? But how much does an international competition like that at that level play when you're picking a guy like that mid-round or in the middle of the draft?
It always helps, but it helps the player because you get to see them best on best in their age group. And Rauten in particular was playing in the men's league over in Sweden, so he was always the youngest guy on the ice. So you put him in his own age group with 18, 19-year-olds, and he stands out. That's what you're hoping. But then everyone else sees the same thing. So it's a good thing and a bad thing depending on how you look at it. But that was obviously he scored some big goals for Finland, and one of them was against Sweden that I think most people saw. So yeah, that was a good. We had all of our European scouts were there to watch them, and European scouts really like to see their players in their age group, and you get to see them against good competition. So that was definitely good for him.
Michael Lax, go ahead.
Hey, how you doing? I wanted to ask about Mignosa, one of your 7th rounders. Specifically, the fact that he is an overager. I know you had talked about how when you get to the 7th round, kind of got to trust the scouts and what they see. But when you're looking at an overager, what are specific things that you look for, maybe that they have to bring them a little bit further along in their development compared to those 18 and 19-year-olds?
Specifically with Marco, you can see just looking, anyone can pull up his stats and you can see from 17, 18, 19, the last 3 years, his points have gone up and up and up. It's less guesswork. You're assuming the 17-year-old is the points will go up, the play will go up, the playing time, the responsibility, the ice time will all go up, but you don't know that for sure. We know that for sure with Marco, that he's already shown that he can improve, and we think he can keep that going and improve even more. Even though he's a little bit older, some may look at that as a bad thing. We kind of look at that as a positive thing because he's shown that he can improve, and he's put in the work, and you think that going forward he'll keep doing the same thing.
Gabby?
John, it sounds like it may be a one and done, but overall thoughts on the decentralized draft and how it worked for your staff?
It worked great for our staff. Obviously, it's a little longer than doing it live. For our staff, it's much more relaxed. It's easier to talk about everything as it's going on compared to the draft floor, where you really have to be careful what you say, and it's crammed in on with the tables and the way they're set up. It was easy, spacious for all the guys. All the guys had their computer. Everyone knew what was going on. Sometimes on the draft floor, things happen so fast and the draft gets going so fast, you can't get around, or word can't spread quick enough around the table, and then all of a sudden someone at the table sees who we picked and they had no idea. So it was nice this way. Everyone was on the same page. Everyone knew what we were doing. Communication was really easy, whether it was between John Riley and myself, or Julian and myself, or Josh Dye, who ran the computer. That part was really easier for us. I don't know how it was for everybody else watching, but for us it was easier that way.
Very good. Ben?
With that 2nd round pick, when did you guys know this is our guy? This is who we're really shooting for here? I know you mentioned kind of start to whittle that list down, but when did you realize this was going to be a possibility?
Going into the draft, I thought it was a slim possibility that he would be there. And then as the draft got going, after the 1st round, you kind of look at what you have left that's already been taken. So you cross the names off the list, and this is the group of guys that we think maybe will be there. And it's usually like, okay, these are the next 5 guys on the list. Well, we're not picking till 56, so there's 24 picks. So you're doing the math in your head, and it doesn't work. But it usually works out sometimes, not all the time, that a guy ends up, one more guy, that 5th guy usually ends up being there. So for Ethan, I thought it was a slim chance. So the longer it went and he was still on the board, you try to talk yourself into, like, he's not going to be there, okay, we need to prepare, he's not going to be there, he's going to get taken, so we need to work on something else. And then as time goes on, you're like, okay, this is a real thing. And then you get down to 1 or 2 picks, and you're just kind of holding your breath at that point. And like I said, they did the trade, and then your heart kind of drops because you're thinking, oh, they're thinking what we're thinking. He shouldn't be here. So luckily, everything worked out for us.
Good. Thanks, John.
Yep.